So a bunch of you guys are posting saying, oh, why aren't you doing car stuff? How come you're not showing the car? Well, if you watch the other videos, you'd know I haven't had the car, but now the car's back. So I'm gonna stop yapping and get to it. Safety first. Now that we got that taken care of, now do I have a little bit of time to talk? I think I earned the time. Hello? My shades, I literally can't even see. Today I'm gonna be going over my beautiful 2013 Mustang GT and this guy.
I didn't know you wanted to get the shot or not.
Obviously, I've talked a lot about the car and what kind of car it is, but I haven't really gotten into some of the things that I've done to the car so far. I figured I'd give you a little bit of a tour and start the video right. So here's my beautiful baby. I'm gonna kind of go over some of the exterior first, and then I figured we can work our way into the mods and then the interior. So since we're up front, just recently installed before it actually went into the shop was the MMD chin spoiler. I ended up going with this one because it was a lot easier to install than the Roush, but actually it looks really, really good. Wheels, I've gone through a couple sets of wheels, but these I actually did a little bit of a trade for with my buddy. These are Nietzsche. I don't know the exact series, but they are a staggered setup, a little concave in the rear, and in my opinion, just beefy. The rims are wrapped in Nitto NT 555s. We got 255, 40, 30, 255, 40, 19s in the front. 305s, those big 305s making all that smoke. 35, 19 in the rear. As you can see, I also have the Brembos up front. I did get those on Facebook Marketplace from a GT500. They are a 4-piston Brembo with slotted and drilled rotors that I just popped on the car along with ceramic pads. Also have those on the rear as well. Got the black 5.0 batches, which I'm actually going to end up replacing. Those are a little bit worn, so I have brand new fresh ones. Tint, I have 20% all around and a 5% strip. Same thing, I'm also going to end up redoing that because on the back here it is slightly bubbling. This was put on literally when we first got the car in 2014, so it's definitely time. Back when the car was my dad's, I got these for Father's Day for him. The Lovers, he really liked them, and I think they look really clean on the car. A lot of the other ones are a little too much for me. I thought that these were really simple looking, really clean looking, and they wrap up the exterior really well. I have the Diodynamic side markers, the LED smoked ones. Really, really clean. Something I think the cars honestly should have came with factory. Oh, I forgot the top here. The beautiful roof wrap. This is a gloss black roof wrap that was done by Wrap Mogul. Mogul, is that how you say it? Mogul? I think that's how you say it. And to match it on the GT500 spoiler, which I also added, got the little wrap on there, along with the RTR shaved decklet, which something in my opinion every S197 owner should do, unless you have some type of special edition like a California Special or a Roush and want to show that off. But otherwise, I think that this is such a clean look. Along with the, since we have quad tips, we got the GT500 rear diffuser, which I think between the black and green combo really wraps up the rear end. All the exterior lights are tinted, and if I come on there closely, it's a little faded. I do have a whole new kit to put on the entire car that I plan to do. Literally, like I said, I just got it back, so you know, there's some things. Sure. I think that's pretty much it for the exterior. I'll kind of go over the mechanical stuff. It's honestly not too much, at least not yet. I don't have hood struts just yet. I actually have them at my garage, just haven't installed them yet. But this thing needs a detail. The whole car needs a detail since I got it back. But you have your JLT 107mm Series 2 intake. And the only other mechanical mod, honestly, is down here. I don't know if we can see it. It's really hot. But is the Cooks 1 7/8 headers, along with I'm running a Bama tune right now, and I know a lot of people really give crap about Bama tunes, but honestly the cars ran really good. I've had that Bama tune for quite some time now. I want to say 3 or 4 years, and when I first got it I was just running the intake and the car ran really well. It makes good power. I'm happy with it, and the only reason I went with the Bama is because they have those free tunes for life. I still plan to add more mods, so I plan to use that at least until I finish up all my mechanical mods. That way I can go with some type of different tune. I'm thinking maybe a Lund tune, or take it somewhere and get it dynoed. To match with the Cooks long tube headers, I have a Cooks Catted X pipe. And then to stock over axle pipes, I needed resonators because my previous exhaust setup was just extremely drony. But now we have it paired with Corsa Extreme quad tips, which I am super pleased with. I really like this exhaust setup. One of my favorites that I've had a number of exhaust setups. The one other one that I really liked was hands down also one of my favorites was my Roush setup. The Roush, I only had the axle back with nothing else paired with it, but it was money. The clutch setup, which is something that I also recently had done, I went with a McLeod single disc clutch. To be honest, I didn't think that I was going to boost the car. I still am not sure if I'm going to boost the car. And if I do boost the car, it's probably not going to make more than like 650, 700 horsepower. The McLeod clutch that I went with is rated for just under 800. I think it's like 790 something or 750. So we'll definitely hold the power if I end up going for it. And realistically, if it doesn't, it pops, you get another one, go twin disc. But I went with a single disc McLeod with the aluminum flywheel. I replaced the pilot bearing, I replaced the slave cylinder, the master cylinder ended up getting replaced. I did buy a separate clutch reservoir when I first had it put on, and the guys told me that it was actually making the whole clutch situation worse. The problem with the whole clutch situation was the clutch pedal spring assembly was broken. So we ended up replacing that with the Steeda clutch spring assembly, and he removed the line from the separate reservoir back into the original one that's shared with the brake lines. And he said honestly Ford really engineered the clutch setup well, and so he hooked it back up and it was actually running a lot better, he said. So, you know, these guys know what they're doing. I trust what they say. And so I ended up not using that. And I still have a braided clutch line though, McLeod braided clutch line. Let me pull the key out so it's not dinging on us. All right. Interior, what do I have done to the interior? Something simple, but your RTR shifter. I have a full aftermarket radio. I wanted CarPlay when I first got the car. I think the Tesla screen's really cool, but a lot of people gave it really bad reviews, at least when I was looking to do this about 3 years ago. So I ended up going with this setup, which I think is awesome because you get the little cupboard there. Have my radar detector hardwired. And then I have a full sound system. The interior speakers, the front are Kicker QS's, which are some really crazy good sounding speakers, with Kicker KS's in the rear. And I think, honestly, I think that's pretty much it in terms of the interior, aside from the trunk. This is a work in progress, and if you have a solution or some type of trunk setup you suggest for an S197, please comment down below. I originally had this sub just sitting in the trunk on top of the trunk liner here, and then after a certain point I had the spare in here up until about 4 months ago when the car went into the shop, and even before then it just completely collapsed. So I ended up just pulling it out and putting this in here for now, and I do want to make some type of custom trunk setup. I'm not 100% sure how I want to go about it yet, but if you have any suggestions or have any pictures, please either comment them or shoot me a message with your setups. But we have a 12-inch Alpine Type S in a ported truck box. This thing is money. It doesn't sound overpowering for the speakers. It pairs very perfectly with the set of speakers that I have, and part of the reason why I went for it. The one last thing is the suspension setup. So I am running, and I've never seen anybody else run this on an S197. I am running Megan Racing coilovers. I was on the market for a set of coilovers. A buddy of mine had a set of Megan Racing coilovers on his Mazda, and he swore by them. And I know that it sounds like one of those cheaper brands. A lot of people may hate on it. Honestly, it runs money. Like, I was doing a lot of research on different sets of coilovers. I was in between these and BC Racing, and at the time what BC Racing was offering was about $13.50. I paid $900 for this set of coilovers for Megan Racing. I put them on at 75K. I daily drove the car for about a year after that. The car's got 110,000 miles now, and it still rides really good for a car that's on a set of coilovers. It handles like a dream. It rides really good, and I'm happy with it. So aside from the coilovers, I just had installed Eibach Panhard bar and BMR upper and lower control arms, and the lower control arms have the relocation brackets as well. And same thing, like ever since I added that, it actually rides even better. It's not too stiff. It rides smooth, but it also lets me corner the car at like 50-60 miles an hour, no problem. So I'm really happy with it. Runs really good. I have some other plans for the car. I have some parts that I actually have in my garage right now to throw onto the car. It's all just, you know, time and trying to find time to do all these things. There's a couple things I need a little bit of help with, a couple things that are going to take some time. So again, stay tuned, bear with me, and all this stuff is going to be taking place. I am going to make sure I record it so that you guys get to see some of the things that I am going to add, because some of the things I've already added, unfortunately I wasn't able to record. I just didn't have the time to do it. So now I finally decided to pick up a camera and make it happen. So I am going to bring you along with the rest of this journey and all the things that I do to the car. Also, for those of you who I spoke to and talked about selling the car, it's not going anywhere. I was getting lowballed the heck out of, and I'm not ready to get rid of it for I'm not ready to get rid of it for chunk change, especially after I just put some money into it. Car's really good, it's paid off, makes me happy, and so yeah, it's not going anywhere, don't you worry. And that's pretty much gonna wrap up everything that I've done to the car. If you have any questions about what I've done to the car, some of the parts that I have on the car, whatever the case is, please feel free to drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, make sure you subscribe, help your boy out, and hit that bell icon. And thank you so much for tuning in to another video. We'll see you in the next one.